Today is the second day of Eurobike 2024. I will be exploring more Western brands, more titanium bike manufacturers and much more, so let's go! Is this the peak of aerodynamics or what? Well, this is how a bike would look like when you remove UCI rules. Take a look at this fork, it's super wide to allow the airflow to go around the wheel. Then also you have this compartment for water, so the rider can drink without leaving the aero position. This one is equipped with SRAM red. The tire clearance is limited because of the chainstays, of course, but the seat stays are wide as well, again because of aerodynamics. And when you take a look at this bike from behind, it's razor sharp. This is one of the most ridiculous road bikes I've ever seen. It's Lotus, it's on Campagnolo Super Record. And look at these aero features. So first of all, you have these narrow handlebars with flared hoods, and then also super wide front fork. Look at this from front. The tire clearance is pretty massive here, but not here. And then you have the rear seat stays. It's crazy, never seen anything like that before. At first I was impressed by this time trial bike, but it's here on a purpose because Continental has new aero tires. And the most interesting thing about them is the pattern of the tread. This one is pretty narrow, it's 26 millimeters, but it's also available in 29 millimeters. In the rear, they have completely different tire. And as you can see here, it's much wider. It's 28 millimeter in the rear. The reason for it is that when the air flows from the front to the rear, you have a lot of dirt air here, and basically any aero advantages from the tire are gone. This Villiers has one of the best looking paint jobs ever. I think it will be really difficult for other brands to surpass it. I like blue, and this aqua blue to dark blue transition is absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I don't like about this bike is the seat post clamp. They could do better. Luckily the Villiers Filante looks much sleeker, and over here we have a bike of Enric. Notice the narrow handlebar. Surprisingly, they are using time pedals, which are not too common. Let me know in the comments below if you use time pedals, because I've never seen anybody using them. If you are into titanium bikes, I'm at TBS booth and they have these gravel/road bikes here. And this one caught my attention because firstly, it uses wheels I've tested. You can check out my review of these Super Teams All Carbon Ultra. But secondly, I like the pink handlebar tape and also the 3D printed pink saddle. Overall, this bike looks really sleek. The attention to detail is really high. For example, you can see that these bolts are probably anodized and also in a pink and purple, and also the bottle cage. Another detail, you can see this screw. This company is also able to 3D print parts from titanium. For example, here you can see integrated cockpit. The hoods are made in a more ergonomic shape. I guess these are for track cycling. When we take a look at this frame from close up, you can see this transition almost looks like this frame is made of carbon. I'm honestly starting to like colorful bikes when they are done well. It's hand painted. As you can see, the stem, also the handlebar and the spacers are colorful to match the rest of the frame.
The total weight of the bike is around 8 kilo. So it's a very competitive weight considering that it's a steel, and the reason for that is that we chose different type of tubes, also from different brands, to have a very light but also very aesthetic lines. So you see the different tubes have a shape that brings the concept for the bicycle a bit special.
This is SEKA Exceed RDC frame in this beautiful rainbow-like color. It reminds me a little bit the bikes of Tour de Titema. They have Cannondales with similar paint jobs. They use pink and blue colors, so yeah, looks really nice. I'm standing here with Scott from SEKA, and we will talk about SEKA as a brand and also about their latest bike called SEKA Spear, and this one is a limited edition RDC.
SEKA was a brand born in Shanghai, was a Chinese brand. We thought, what does a riders need is the first questions asked. in our mind. So that the riders need a high performance bike. Does it need to be light and stiff? And does it have to be, more comfort?
Well, how do you ensure that frame is stiff when I'm sprinting, but also comfortable when I'm riding on bumpy roads?
To make it stiff, we need to choose the correct materials, which is very special texturing, Mitsubishi Chemicals 65T, ATT. You add a lot of special materials in the five-way. We call it the five-way of the bottom bracket area. And also you want a good torsional force in the head tube area. And now what we did is we introduced the wind eye structure, is creating a lot of vertical compliancy. So you do have a lot of vibrations from the bottom brackets, from the wheels. So this way and this way.
This is an Italian brand, Passoni. This is Titanio Disco, and over there is Titanio Classica. It's handmade, hand brushed, so you don't see the welds. Anyway, the price range of this frame set is around 8,000 euros. The price range is similar for this Classical, but this bike, which is also from the same brand, it's about 7,000 euros. Of course, Eurobike is not only about modern bikes, but they have this area with historical bikes. I don't know how is it possible to keep the stability on this bike, but yeah, it's a piece of history. This is Officina Battaglin Roma. Hopefully I pronounce it correctly. This bike looks absolutely stunning in person. It's combined with Campagnolo Super Record as most Italian bikes here. The frameset costs 5,500 euros. You can customize basically everything, and the delivery time is not even 1 month. They told me that they are able to deliver a bike like this within a month. This video wouldn't be complete without fun Rysel. This is the first time I see this bike in person, and I'm not sure if it's visible in the video, but the color is like deep green. It's almost like black. In person it looks much better than in the video. If you are into electronic dance music, you probably know Tomorrowland, and they joined forces with Ridley. They have this Ridley Cancel Fast in Venio, and it's a collaboration between Ridley and Tomorrowland. It has these Tomorrowland-like details. For example, the bottle cage holders, Tomorrowland logo on the rim, and of course on the head tube. This is a bike like no other. I don't even know how to comment it. It's an e-bike. As you can see, the fork is absolutely crazy. It reminds me a motorbike or something. It looks like not like a chopper, but yeah, I don't even know. And the frame looks like it's completely rust, but I guess this is like a color treatment because it doesn't leave any marks on my fingers. And yeah, crazy. Scott Foil RC Ultimate is interesting because of multiple reasons. First, it looks really fast. It's an aero bike, of course. You can see how wide is the fork, how wide is the down tube. On the other hand, the top tube is pretty narrow. The seat stays are wider everything to improve aerodynamics. Anyway, I wanted to talk about these wheels. These are Syncros, and it's the first time I see wheels from Syncros that have integrated spokes and hubs together with the rims. So they are almost like lightweight Meilenstein, or basically the same concept. When you break a spoke, you have to expensively repair it or throw the wheel away. According to this transparent, this should be the fastest triathlon bike, and I will show you the view from the rear as well because it looks even more impressive. This is what we call a razor sharp bike. Univega is a brand I've never heard about, and they have these road bikes here, and I noticed that they have a signature design feature, which are the rear seat stays. As you can see, they are dropped, but they are almost like on aero road bikes. On the other hand, the top part of the bike looks like from a climbing bike. I don't like this blend too much because, as you can see, some parts are angular, some are rounded, and yeah, I don't think this matches well together. I'm currently at Bose booth, and this one is massive. Take a look. It literally takes about 1/10 of this entire huge hall, And it's surprising to me because I've never seen anybody to ride a boost bike. However, I wanted to show you a few road bikes over here. And if you recall from my previous shots, these are exactly the same frames. Alright, I'm at Elite booth and they have 3 new products. So first of all, they have this new trainer called Avanti. It's a tier below Justo. It has basically all the specifications you may need, like 1% accuracy, 18% of gradient simulation. It also can transmit data in 10 Hz, so it's like a race mode. Anyway, it mainly has the Wi-Fi connection. The same applies to Justo. This is the upgraded version. It's Justo 2. And unlike Justo 1, it also has inbuilt Wi-Fi connection. I believe the previous Justo also had only quote-unquote 1% accuracy, but this one has below 1%. And finally, they have this Elite Square smart bike, smart frame. I honestly don't understand how is it possible that it looks so bad. When you take a look at this Justo, it's one of the best looking smart trainers on the market. But this frame, yeah, I simply don't like it. Like the square shape and the finish of the wheels doesn't look good. Hopefully it will be functional. You can adjust the saddle height, saddle tilt, fore and aft movement. Everything is adjustable to ensure the proper fit. And of course you have these buttons here. Currently they are not connected to Zwift because Elite waits for new protocol for Zwift, so it will allow them to use the buttons for controlling the actions in Zwift. Anyway, they are able to control also the area fan, which is pretty neat. Unfortunately, they won't allow you to control the position of the riser, but it's not so necessary because when you have the riser connected to an app, it adjusts the height automatically. And finally, I also talked about the compatibility when you are using riser and the different smart trainers. The frame is compatible with all Elite interactive smart trainers, but for example, it's not compatible with Tax Neo and similar ones. It should be compatible with Wahoo trainers and other trainers which are compatible with Wahoo Climb. And I believe that's everything what I wanted to tell you about this smart bike. Yeah, the first thing I noticed when I'm sitting on this bike is that it flexes mainly because of the trainer and the bike together. Yeah, it's quick, responsive.
Very quick.
Over here at Giant booth, we have this unreleased prototype time trial bike. It's completely redesigned and they couldn't tell me any information about aerodynamics, weight, etc. But let me show you this bike from behind. Razor sharp. They also have here their TCR, which finally has the hidden cables. Still, I don't like this solution as much as other solutions when you have the stem integrated with the handlebar. On the other hand, this allows you better adjustability of the angle of your handlebar, and if necessary you can replace the stem more easily. Even though this bike looks like the previous generation, Andrew from Giant told me that the manufacturing process is completely different. They are really proud of it. Giant is also known that they have their own factory. Standing here with Jeff. Jeff is working on the development of Cadex wheels, and now we will talk about the stiffness part of things and also aerodynamics and everything.
Yeah, so a couple of big things that makes a wheel more efficient. One, transmission stiffness. Ultimate goal is whatever the rider puts in wattage-wise, you want to come back out and push them forward, right?
Yes, yes.
Traditional wheels with steel spokes and with the standard setup on their hub, there will be a certain amount. When you put the load, you're going to get rotation here before it brings the wheel around with you. So, and the reason for that is your pulling spoke and your pushing spoke, this has to stretch while this one detensions a little bit until it comes around and it stiffens back up, right?
Yeah.
Going to carbon spokes, that picks up quicker because the elongation properties of carbon versus steel is much lower.
Based on this blue car, I believe you know where I'm standing right now. and I'm looking at this Canyon Aeroad. It's a bike of Mathieu van der Poel, and it has this world champion treatment. You probably know that Mathieu is also sponsored by Zwift, so that's why the Zwift sticker. Pinarello doesn't have their booth here, but at Shimano booth they have this Pinarello Dogma F. It's the latest generation, released a few days or weeks ago, and there are only a few differences compared to the previous generation. So they started hiding the true axles, then the head tube is a little bit thicker, and also the bottom bracket area is thicker. I'm not the biggest fan of this look. I like the previous generation more. I especially don't like the head tube and also the beefy bottom bracket area. Alright, that was it. Eurobike 2024 day 2. Make sure to subscribe. Tomorrow I will be exploring the outdoor areas and also places that I missed today. Thanks a lot and see you soon. Ciao.